commencement speaker for the Maritime University there as well. So that's why last week we were unable to bring you our press briefing. However, you're listening, those of you listening via radio and other platforms, online and television, we'd like to welcome you to this edition. I would like to inform all of you that our president have been really very busy during the course of the week. And as you know, normally during these press briefings, we talk about the president's week, some of the key activities and key actions he's taking, and also to let the Liberian people know the workings of the executive mansion since I was taking over this office. And this week, like I stated, have been busy coming out of the weekend from Accra, Ghana. The president continues his work for the Liberian people. We've had several meetings, and key among those meetings were meetings with students of the University of Liberia. As you know, the University of Liberia, over the course of several weeks, have been engulfed with a lot of different challenges, with some actions and protestation from faculty. And the president was very meticulous in setting up a committee to make sure that the issues at the university was settled. And they're currently ongoing. As you know, school has reopened, and some student leaders of the university had a very good meeting with the president, and the president did assure them of his interest in showing that the University of Liberia remains standardized and remains one of the best in the sub-region, and to make sure that the issues, the challenges that they've outlined, himself will do all he can to make sure that the university is on top of its game, and he will support the students. He will ensure that the university is up to standards. That meeting was very much well attended and very much important for on the president's agenda. As you know, the University of Liberia and education in general is part of the president's arrest agenda. Also, this week there was a key meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture and partners in terms of some of the issues that they've undertaken, the question of food sustainability, rice conversation, and that meeting saw the Ministry of Agriculture and team updating the president on the current state of the country in terms of food sustainability and some of those programs that they intend to undertake. Additionally, the president had an engagement with the pilgrims. You know, Liberian Muslims joined thousands or millions of Muslims worldwide to go and attend and perform the Hajj. The pilgrim in Mecca, they returned to the country, and the president had a engagement with them. And there was a prayer service for the country, and he attended that event. Yesterday, we also saw the president attending two major events. One of such was chairing, for the first time in many years, a president chairing the Interministerial Committee on Decentralization meeting. And that meeting, very important for the president and the agenda, how we can show that issues of governance is decentralized, or issues of government are decentralized in the counties, and looking forward to the county service centers being fully working and making sure that other issues that people do not have to come to Monrovia or Montserrat to get services that can be accessible in the counties. And he assured the public that he will do everything he can in making sure that service centers across the country are active and functional. Um, he also had a meeting yesterday and launched the program specifically to ensure that the employee payroll, the employee regularization status undertaking by the Civil Service Agency was launched. CSA have been working assiduously to professionalize the service, to professionalize the civil service, where people who come to public service are coming for the best interest, and even cutting down some of the challenges in terms of people who are on ghost, for example. One of the other issues that was talked about yesterday was to reduce, the number of people. For example, there are many issues of ghost names. Every year we're dealing with ghost names, and for the first time, CSA is working very hard to identify ghosts, to see how these ghosts have, come up, who are the people behind those, and recommended some drastic, action in terms of going to Ministry of Justice, following prosecutorial processes, to make sure that, I mean, a civil service is a place that people come to work and serve the public for the common good. The president has continued his work during the course of the week, and he will, on tomorrow, travel to Nigeria, Abuja, where he will attend the 62nd ordinary session of the ECOWAS Authority and Heads of State. That meeting for Heads of State will happen on Sunday, and he's expected to, lead the Liberian delegation at the meeting as the head of the Liberian government. As you know, the meeting of other, especially coming towards the summit, currently our Minister of Foreign Affairs is there. There's a Foreign Affairs meeting of ministers that's going on, and the president and his team will join tomorrow, and then come back to the country on Monday. Again, I like to, or the president had asked me to announce to the public here that he is going to be taking 40% cut in his salary that he will be given to the Liberian people. So the president is announcing a cut in his salary as president of the Republic of Liberia. So thank you for coming to this press briefing, and I look forward to taking your questions as we continue. Thank you.
So that was the presidential presidency bringing you the updates of the executive functions, and it's time that we go for question and answer. The steps of
This is Anthony Williams from State Radio. Dr. Williams, I have extensive representing court. My question is clear to you how the 40% cut let's say it will be given to the Liberian. How? What will it be used for? Charity? Will it be passed to entities? If you can bring us up. And over the past weeks, in fact, precisely during our past briefing, you also made it public. Mr. President will have declared made this asset for it public, which he did. And there have been some reactions to the public. President, any feedback from the public, and how does he feel about making the asset public, especially from the reaction from the public? To the Liberian people.
Yes, any further questions?
Is MO2US Nigeria, a work for the Health Administration. Yesterday, the president launched civil servant relaxation. I would like to know how that's going to benefit Liberia, and why is the total number for employees on government payroll?
Madam, one last question. So the Coca-Cola to ESWA Junction project undertaken by the Works and international partners in the Gulf of Liberia. Currently, as we speak, the ESWA Junction roundabout a very beautiful looking piece of public use. I've been informed reliably that in the next few months, possibly this month, that project will be officially dedicated. Mr. President, gearing up to officially turn that over to
PBS and over the months, we've heard that the president was investigating several security matters. As we mentioned, one of it is the DA and the CAFA have an investigation on because we have passed the date set up for update of the investigation.
Thank you very much. I will begin with the the last question on the security investigation. Like I mentioned last week, and I will tell you all again, the LDA investigation is a very active investigation. In fact, I've been informed by the team, especially from the Ministry of Justice, that they're at the concluding stages of those investigations. And very soon, you will be hearing of the outcome of the investigation. But yes, it's an active investigation happening. And the president is informed that the team there from the Ministry of Justice are working assiduously to update the president on those conversations, and recommendation will be provided. In terms of whether the president is officially gearing up to turn over the roundabout, you know, the president is a president who is very interested in the bigger project, and that you won't see, for the most part, you won't see the president doing small dedication here, turning over. The president wants to be able to turn over, say, for example, the entire Green Crew corridor to the Liberian people. You know, he wants to look forward to turning over some major projects. And what I can say to the different road works that are happening, yes, there one roundabout, and you will see several of them across the country, according to information we gathered from the Ministry of Public Works. I mean, there's a plan for the red light, and there's a plan for the rehab uh, junction to Poor Road. And so there are different sections, especially on the issue of road safety, because the roundabout, yes, it looks beautiful, but I mean, for those of the people who understand the traffic issues, is there to ensure the easy access to the traffic, and then drivers can commute. I mean, can go around, pedestrians can commute easily. You can yield to other drivers and other people. So, I mean, if the president decides he wants to go there and dedicate that, I mean, that would be fine. But I can tell that the president is interested in doing a bigger, project. And one of the things I can actually tell you, that normally when the president is coming to work, he normally takes the short, cut to the other side. But just 2 days ago, he actually went to see the road works. I mean, through the ELW end, he used that route to see what the works happening there, and especially how PCC and team have been able to ensure that the people who are selling in the street go to the marketplaces, and ensure that that space, for safety reasons, they're all clear out of people who are selling. It's important for their own safety to be able to go to the market buildings that have been made available. So he's gearing up to do very big things for the Liberian people, and this is something that he's confident on doing. On the issue of the regularization, what the president launched yesterday on the employees status regularization program or project that was done by the CSA. This is something, as you ask, what is the importance? This is something that is very important, as we know. It's been a major issue when it comes to the number of employees, and even to your question, Ojuku, on the total number of employees that the government has. It's right now, and this is one of the reasons why CSA is really working to streamline and take out the people who are not in government employed, and they're taking pay and taking other salaries, and people who are in government employed but are not showing up to work. For example, I'm sure you did listen to the CSA Director General yesterday when he talked about some institutions and entities that have a number of employees who do not even have employment letter, for example, who do not even have status. So that's why the status regularization is very important, because it will help cut costs from the government end, so that the government cannot just be spending. And sometimes with the whole system, sometimes these resources are going to individuals, but with the pretense that people are actually working. So that's why this exercise is important, or all of these different things that CS is going ahead to do. At the end of the day, they will be able to tell all of us that the total number of employees that are within the executive, for example, even in the judiciary and the legislature, because as you know, the head count currently ongoing. In fact, I'm informed that many public institutions, their head count ongoing to see if you say you employ in this agency, what's your employment letter, what's your ID, what's your status, and all of those different things. I'm sure by the end of these exercises, you'll have a full number and a clear understanding of where we stand when it comes to total number of employees here. So the president take those particular things very, very seriously. On the issue of how the feedback, how the president is faring when it comes to the feedback on his Access publication. He's received commendation from many places. The feedbacks have been amazing, especially the positive ones. Yes, of course, you're in a political space. Everything you say or do, people will have things to say, critics will say. But yes, the president did declare his assets. Like I told you, all of you remember when this whole conversation of assets declaration started, he was the very first person to declare his assets as the head of the government from the executive.